Hi loves, welcome back. For today's video, I have some disappointing drugstore makeup products. Now, please have an open mind with this video. I know that a lot of people get really offended by these videos. If I mention something that you really like that I don't like or that didn't work for me, it's okay. I mean, that's just how the makeup world is. Not everything's gonna work for everyone because we're all different. We have different skin types, and I'm not trying to bash anyone either because I love these brands that I'm talking about. Just these products, it didn't work for me, and I wanted to share them with you guys because I'm always talking about things that I love, and sometimes I just want to let you guys know of things that didn't work for me. So I hope you enjoy this video, and if you want to see some disappointing products that didn't work for me, then just keep watching. Okay, so first I'm going to start off with some primers. The first primer I have is this Milani Prime Shield Face Primer. It's a mattifying and pore minimizing primer. These came out a few months back. They have one for dry skin as well, which I haven't tried. But this primer was $9 when I bought it at Walmart, and I was so disappointed in it. I used it with so many different foundations, so many different times, because the first time I used it, I was like, okay, I don't see a big difference. I don't see anything at all. I kept using it, and I just didn't see anything happen with my skin. This says it's oil free, but to be honest, I have to disagree. I feel like this primer is very oily. It's kind of like a silicone type of base, which is kind of weird because it's meant to be mattifying. I don't think it mattified my skin at all. It just felt very like greasy when I put it on my skin. Just not a good feeling. I wanted to try the dry skin one, but I didn't like this one that much that I just refrained myself from trying that one out. And another thing I don't like about it is the packaging. If you feel this, it feels like so much empty air at the top, and it feels like all the product is just sinking in on the bottom. So it's kind of disappointing because I feel like they could have either made the packaging smaller or put more product in to fill it up. It's kind of like when you buy a bag of chips and you have a bag of air. That's what this feels like. Another primer I have is by Hard Candy. This is the Primer Perfecting. It says it minimizes lines and pores for a smooth finish. I love Hard Candy primers. If you watch my videos, you know I love the dark spot correcting one, the shine free one, the pore minimizing one, but this one was just a no-go for me. It just was one of those primers that I feel like didn't do anything for me. It has a really oily silicone base to it. It almost feels like mush when you put it on your face. It was just very uncomfortable. When I applied this, I actually had to take it off because when I started applying my foundation, it just felt really greasy, and my skin is not overly oily as it used to be, but with this it just felt really greasy and gross, and it just didn't sit well on my skin. I could feel like I had primer on. Like, it was so weird because usually primer absorbs into your skin really nicely, but with this it was just not good. I want to talk about foundations. I have another Milani product. I love Milani, by the way, but these things, no bueno. So I have the Conceal and Perfect foundation. I have two shades, one in 03 light beige, one in 05 warm beige. I do not like these foundations, and I use them so much with different primers, with different powders. They are just so cakey on my skin. It was insane. It almost made my skin look old. Like, you know, when you wear so much makeup that it just looks old. It looks like you have a lot of product buildup. That's what I found with this, and I really love the packaging. It's very high-end, very classy. I love the pump, and this was only like $9, which I think is really good for a foundation, but it just didn't work for me. You could tell that I was wearing a lot of makeup. It felt like I was wearing a lot of makeup. It just got cakey. Even when you used a little bit, it just wasn't good. I mean, and it is a very full coverage foundation, but for me personally, I just felt like it was way too heavy, and I was wearing this and trying this out a few months ago when it was still cold outside, so I can't even imagine what this feels like when it's hot outside, because even when it was freezing cold outside and I was trying this out, my makeup felt oily, greasy, cakey. Not good, not cute, not good at all. Have a concealer to mention. This is the NYX Gotcha Covered Concealer. This is a waterproof concealer. Supposedly it's very full coverage, and this one I got in the shade beige. I really love the NYX HD. That's one of my favorites. So when I saw this and it said Gotcha Covered, I was like, alright. But honestly, this concealer is so oily. I'd used it in a few makeup tutorials and I thought I liked it for a little bit, but the more I used it, the more I realized it just wasn't for me. It is very full coverage. I do like the coverage and the way it looks under my eyes, but I feel like even when I set it, it still looks shiny. It's so weird because I don't want to have a shiny under eye. I like to have a matte under eye that looks really bright and awake, but with this I feel like it kind of accentuated my like lines and like my imperfections under my eyes because of the fact that it did not like dry matte. It was just straight up oily. I feel like even if you have dry under eyes, you wouldn't want to wear this under your eyes because it does not dry. Even when you put powder over top, you can still see shine through it. I don't know what it is, but have another face product. This is the Rimmel Natural Bronzer. This one's in the shade Sundance. I don't know what it is about this. I feel like this is just not my favorite bronzer. I love Rimmel face products, but this one is just, I don't know, I don't like the chunky gold glitter. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. And normally I really love orange toned bronzers. They're my favorite type of bronzers. I prefer them over cool tone, but this one I feel like the gold shimmer, it just really overpowers the bronzer, and it just looks like I have gold glitter chunks on my face, and I just was not a huge fan of it. When you swatch it, you can't really tell. It's kind of like a light bronzer too. It's not the most pigmented. That's what I mean, that the gold reflex definitely overpowers the bronzer, so I was just not a fan of that. Another face product, I have these Wet n Wild Geometric highlighting powders. I hauled these a few months ago, and some people were telling me that you could use these under your eyes, like to set, and I tried that, and honestly I didn't really like it. It gave my under eyes this weird like shimmery sheen, which I was not a huge fan of, because I feel like that accentuates my fine lines, like, you know what I mean, like especially when I smile and stuff. So I was not a huge fan of it. I feel like they're too shimmery to be an under eye powder, because people were saying this is like a similar dupe to what's it called, I think it was the Laura Mercier ambient lighting powder. I don't own that, but I feel like it's too shimmery underneath your eyes, but it's not shimmery enough as a highlighter. Do you know what I mean? Like when you apply this to the tops of your cheekbones, it's just very, very subtle. Like you cannot even tell that you're wearing a highlight, but when you apply it underneath your eyes, you can see the sheen, and it's just so weird. I own Sun Ceremony and Desert Explorations. These two, I don't know if even they're still available, because I know these were limited edition, but I just was not a huge fan of them. I would swatch them for you, but honestly you wouldn't even be able to see any pigmentation on my hand, because they are just so light. That is just on my finger. I mean, it doesn't look bad on my finger, but when you actually go to apply it, it's just not there for me. I want to mention this setting mist. This is the Maybelline Master Fix. I really love a lot of drugstore setting sprays. NYX makes really good one. Pixie has a good one. I just tried out a Wet n Wild one, which I'm really liking so far. But this Maybelline one, I just don't like it. I feel like this smells like big red gum. I don't know if it's just mine. I just don't like it. I feel like it doesn't really do much for me. It doesn't really prolong my makeup. It just doesn't do much. It doesn't work good as like a primer. It just doesn't do anything for me. I do like sprays like this though. When they don't work for my skin, I will use them with eyeshadow brushes to make my eyeshadow appear more intense. So that's probably what I'm going to use this, because I do have a lot left, but for the most part for my face, it's just not my favorite, and the smell is very overpowering. I mean, I like big red gum, but on my face, I don't like that. Alright, I have a few eye products to mention. The first one is the Maybelline 24-Hour Color Tattoo. This one is in the shade Barely Branded. It's just like that nude color. When I saw this, I thought it was going to be a dupe for the MAC paint pots, which I love, and I was really excited, but I just felt like when I applied this, it really creased a lot on my eyes, and when I blended it out, it kind of disappeared. It just wasn't there anymore. It just kind of gave this really, really light sheen, which you could barely even see. So I feel like even if I put eyeshadow over top, this is just pointless, because it does nothing. It doesn't accentuate the eyes or enhance any of the eyeshadows that I put on over top. It's just kind of like, Mark. Next, I have another Maybelline product. I didn't even realize I had like back-to-back Maybelline products. I love Maybelline, but this is the Maybelline Gel Studio Eyeliner. I do like the black one in Blackest Black. I bought this one in Eggplant, and I thought it was going to be just a really fun purple color to do a wing with, and it's a really nice like deep dark purple, and then when you actually go to apply it, it's just not there. Let me try and swatch it for you. It just is so sheer. Like even trying to swatch it for you, it looks better in this swatch than it does when I actually go to apply it to my eyes. Honestly, it just looks like straight up poo on the eyes, like not cute at all, like a throw up purple color on the eyes. So just was not a fan of it. I feel like this was very not as pigmented, and it was just very hard to work with compared to the Blackest Black eyeliner, which was really surprising because that one's really good, but this one's like the complete opposite of that one. Okay, I have two Jordanna eyeliners to mention. This is the Jordanna Cat Eyeliner in Black Leather, number 01. I was super excited when I got this because it is so black when you swatch it, and I thought it was going to be like my new favorite to replace the Wet n Wild Mega Liner. You can see how black that is. It really is intense, and it dries matte. So I was really happy when I first got it, but when I applied this eyeliner, I was noticing that it looked like it dried matte, and then I was looking up close to my eye, and I literally like scratched my eye a little bit like this, like just, you know, scratching casually, and the eyeliner starts to peel. So mind you, I have a full face of makeup on like right now. I go like this, and my eyeliner, it comes off, legit just comes off and just peels. I was like, are you kidding me? So I was really disappointed because I love the formula of this. I actually do like the brush because it's really, really tiny. As you can see, it kind of reminds me of the Wet n Wild one, but it's a little bit longer. And it's so black and it dries matte, but it literally just peels off. I tried it several times and it peels off. So that's pretty disappointing. And then another Jordanna eyeliner that I have is this Easy Liner Retractable eyeliner. I wanted to try this because I love Jordanna's retractable lip liner, so I thought the eyeliners were going to be just as good, but this is not good at all. This one's just in the shade black and it just broke on me. Point proven, but it's right there. The reason I don't like this eyeliner is because, first of all, it smudges on my contacts. I wear clear contacts because I'm literally blind, but if you wear contacts, you know how annoying it is to get makeup on your contacts. It literally is the most uncomfortable feeling ever, and this happens all the time. And every time I tightline my upper lashes, it always transfers to my waterline, which is so annoying. I just don't like this eyeliner. I feel like it doesn't even last a long time. Like the second I put it on, 30 minutes later, it's transferred to my waterline and it's just like gone. So I don't like it at all. Another eye product that I have is this e.l.f. mascara primer. A lot of things like this I find to kind of stay away from because I find that they're very gimmicky. You know what I mean? Like they just don't work. But I got this online a few months back because I've mentioned before that my eyelashes suck. Like I have really short eyelashes and I feel like over the years they've gotten shorter because I wear falsies all the time. I definitely need to like restore them. Anyways, I thought this e.l.f. mascara primer was going to be good. It had good reviews online and it's so cheap. It's not that I'm mad that I like wasted money on it. It's so affordable. It's like $2 or $3, but it's just the thing that it just doesn't work. So it's basically meant to go underneath your mascara and just really give your eyelashes like length and volume and just help with your mascara. And this just honestly did nothing for me. I didn't make my lashes any longer. It didn't help my mascara to go on any better than it would without this. So this was just no. I have this L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte Gloss. I have this one in the shade Blushing Ambition. It's like a pretty pink. I did show this in like a tutorial a few months back. It's a really pretty pink. The only thing I don't like about these is that they say they're pro matte. These don't dry. Like, they don't dry at all. They don't feel like a liquid lipstick. When something is matte, I expect it to be like, you know, a liquid lipstick, and that's what I thought this was going to be, but it's not at all. It does not dry. It's kind of just like a lipstick basically, but they named it matte, so it's not matte. Same thing with this little guy. This is the Ulta Matte Lip Cream. Really disappointed in this because the Ulta brand at Ulta is pretty expensive to be drugstore. I think this was like $15 when I bought it, which is pretty ridiculous because it doesn't dry matte right away. It dries matte, but it honestly takes like 30 minutes, which is kind of ridiculous to be honest. It's a really pretty color, but I'm just not a huge fan of things that just take forever to dry. I mean, I know it's not that big of a deal. I'm kind of being a brat, but I mean, if it says matte lip cream, I kind of expect it to be like just a regular liquid lipstick that dries instantly. That's my favorite thing because then I can see if I have to touch up or if I can add a gloss or something. You know what I mean? So this is just not my favorite, and they're pretty pricey. So last but not least, I have this gloss by Jordanna. This one is in FYI. The reason I don't like this is the smell. The smell is awful, and you guys know at Walgreens you can't swatch things before getting it. At Jordanna, I mean, it's all like sealed. So when I got home, I was just like gagging. This smells like BO, and when you put it on your lips, it's just the smell lingers, and it's awful. And it's a really pretty color. It's just a really sheer lip gloss that I thought would just go really good with so many different like lip liners and stuff, but girl, can we please focus today? It's a really pretty gloss, but it smells like literally your underarms. Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know of some disappointing products that you've tried recently down below in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.